We continue on page 2 and then page 5 as we welcome Shabbat with the lighting of Shabbat candles and the blessing of the fruit of the vine. Ari and Des, would you like to join me for this joyous occasion? August must be a celebration of something. Do you want to do the candles? If you just take the middle one, you know the routine.
What do you do?
You just push them together.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. Dari, will you raise the cup for us? Page 5. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho b'ahava uv'ratzon hinchilanu zikaron l'maaseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila lemikra'e kodesh zecher litziyat mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta v'yotanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha v'yahava uv'ratzon hinchalatanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh ha-Shabbat. Amen. Thank you, nice Jewish family. I felt like I was on Anatevka. We'll continue on pages 20 and 21. So we do like the mystics of Tzfat and welcome the Shabbat bride symbolically with Lecha Dodi, verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. And that will be the end of the math this evening.
Lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, P'nei Shabbat nekabela, lecha dodi likrat kala. P'nei Shabbat nekabela, shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, hishmi'anu el hamiuchad, Adonai echad, u'shemo echad. L'shemo tiferet v'litehila. Lecha dodi likrat kala, p'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, p'nei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nei l'chad,
Ki mekor habracha merosh mikedem nesucha sof ma'aseh b'machshava techila Lecha Dodi Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala Penei Shabbat Nekabela Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala Penei Shabbat Nekabela Hitoreri Ki va'orech kumi ori Uri shir daberi Kivod Adonai alayich migla Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala Penei Shabbat Nekabela Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala Penei Shabbat Nekabela. Please rise for verse 9.
Boi
V'shalom ateret ba'ala Gam b'simcha uv'tzohola toch emunei am segula Boi chala
Lecha
Dodi Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala Penei Shabbat Nekabela Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala Penei Shabbat Nekabela. We continue on page 26 with Chatzi Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah. Bi'alama divarach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael ba'agala uv'izman kariv v'imeru Amen. Yehei Shemei Rabbah Mevarach Le'alam u'le'alamei alamaya Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal Shemei dekudesha Brichu Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata Tushbechata Ematada Amiran Bi'alama V'imeru Amen. Continue on page 28 with our call to prayer.
Baruch et Adonai HaMevorach
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Va'ed. Let's read together on page 30. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzivaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. Baruch atah Adonai, Hamariv Aravim. Page 32, we continue in English together. Everlasting love, you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we meditate. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Pages 34 and 35, Shema Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
Please be seated. We will continue on page 36 with the next paragraph of Shema. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha Hayom al levavecha, v'shinantam levanecha, v'dibarta bam, v'shivtecha b'veitecha, u'v'lechtecha v'derech, u'v'shochbecha, u'v'kumecha, u'geshartam le'ot al yadecha, v'hayu letotafot bein einecha. Uchetavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha lema'an tizkeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'tem kedoshim lelohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem Me'eretz Mitzrayim lihiot lachem lelohim ani Adonai Elohechem. Page 38. All this we hold to be true and trustworthy for us. You alone are our God, and we are Israel, your people. You are our sovereign and Savior, who delivers us from oppressors' hands and saves us from tyrants' fists. You work wonders without number, marvels beyond count. You give us life and steady our footsteps. You performed miracles for us before Pharaoh, signs and wonders in the land of the Egyptians. You led your people Israel out from their midst to freedom for all time. When your children witnessed your dominance, they praised your name in gratitude, and they accepted your sovereignty. Moses, Miriam, and all Israel sang to you together, lifting their voices joyously. Page 40, Michamocha. few weeks ago, I gave you a peek behind the curtain about how the candles work, because one of them didn't. I'm going to show you another behind the scenes, that every week the soloist and I work from an outline to make sure that we're getting on the right page at the right time and at the same place at the same time. And Susie always writes down for me which version of the music we're going to use, because I have to submit something to an organization called J-License, which gives royalties to the artist. We pay an annual subscription and pays royalties to the artists whose catalog we use. Usually, we try and use Michael Hunter Oakes because he's been here before. This week, I looked at the sheet and it said D. Friedman, and my immediate thought was, Diane Friedman wrote a version of Micha Mocha? Which shows that I've been around Diane Friedman so long that you have supplanted Debbie Friedman. If you do have music within you, let it out. We continue together in the English on page 42. Grant, O God, that we lie down in peace and raise us up, our guardian, to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel, for your name's sake be our help. Shield and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Defend us against enemies, illness, war, famine, and sorrow. Distance us from wrongdoing. For you, God, watch over us and deliver us. For you, God, are gracious and merciful. Guard our going and coming to life and to peace evermore. Baruch atah Adonai, hapores sukat shalom aleinu, Be'al kol amo Yisrael, Be'al Yerushalayim. Page 44.
V'shamru b'nei Yisrael, v'shamru et ha-Shabbat, la'asod et ha-Shabbat, la'asod et ha-Shabbat, l'dorotam berit olam. Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael, ud hi le'olam. La'asod et ha-Shabbat, la'asod et ha-Shabbat, la'asod et ha-Shabbat le'olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz, uvayom hashvi'i, uvayom hashvi'i, Shabbat vayinafash.
We turn the page to 46 and rise for tefillah.
Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise.
Page 48. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imoteinu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor ve'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei HaKol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot V'imahot, Umevi geula livnei v'neihem, leman shemo be'ahava. Melech ozer umoshia umagen. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Bezrat Sarah. Page 50. Atah gibor leolam Adonai, Mechaye hakol atah rav lehoshia, Morid hatahal, Mechalkel chayim bechesed, Mechaye hakol berachamim rabim. Somech noflim verofech olim, umatir asurim, umekayem emunato, lishenei afar, michamocha ba'al gevurot, umido melach, melech memit umechaye, umatzmiach Yeshua, v'ne'eman atah hachayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, mechaye hakol. Page 52. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, ukadoshim bechol yom yahalelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. Please be seated. Page 61. Let's read together about 3/4 of the way down the page. Don't stop after beating the swords into plowshares. Don't stop. Go on beating and make musical instruments out of them. Whoever wants to make war again will have to turn them into plowshares first. We pause for a few moments of quiet meditation, followed by Oseh Shalom.
Use shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Use shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Use shalom bimromav, hu
continue on page 253. Page 253. We think of all who are in need of healing of body and spirit. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal those who are ill. We think especially of the following people: Bob Barnett, Alan Brockman, Mike Carbone, Valerie Frank, Alex Goldstein, Clara Gilliams, Wendy Haber, Jillian Hartman, Catherine Holloway, Elizabeth Hyder, Nathan Kinnock, Tyler Kinnock, Kristen Kinnock, Kate Lane, Richard Lehrer, Martin Levin, Jody Lokshin, Judine Luntz, David Poole, Carol Rubin, Rob Schweitzer, Sam Sinopoli, Mark Sirac, Sharon Smith, Kristen Spetich, Kelly Swab, Barbara Turkeltaub, Kristen Turner, David Waltz, Malka Wayne, Florence Weaver, and Bruce White. If there are others about whom you're thinking and you'd like to share their names aloud, please feel free. Thank you.
Dick Ramondi.
Thank you.
Lorna and Doug Parker.
Thank you. We continue in the middle of page 253 with our musical prayer for healing. Page 259, please rise for the prayer for the state of Israel. Avinu, Avinu, Sheba Shamayim, Tzur Yisrael v'go alo. Barech, Barech, et Medinat Yisrael, Reshit tzmichat geulateinu, Hagein aleha be'evrat chasdecha, Uferos aleha sukat shalomecha. Avinu, Avinu, Sheba Shamayim, Tzur Yisrael v'go alo.
Kolod balevav nima,
Nefesh Yehudi homiya, ufatei mizrach kadima, ayin letzion Sophia. Olovda tikvateinu, hatikva bat shnot apayim, liot am chofshi be'artzeinu, unless you are celebrating a simcha in August, please have a seat. If you are celebrating a simcha in August, come on down. I can't promise you a chance to spin the wheel or win a car, but you definitely get a blessing. That's what I was going to guess, 21.
Wow, there's a lot.
August is a busy month. Is this anniversary? How many years? 55. Mazel tov. Mazel tov. Birthday, anniversary, birthday. Anniversary because your birthdays are in April, right? What are you surrounding the phalanx? I feel like I'm the groom and you're all my attendants. It's hot out. These are the days leading up to Tisha B'Av. Everybody's supposed to be miserable, but those who come here for blessing know that August is the very best month to have a birthday or an anniversary. Why, I don't know. Maybe the caterer gave a discount. Whatever the reason, we're delighted that they have you beat by 1 year. 54 years, 55 years. Together you've been married 109 years. It only seems like 108. Have you ever driven cross country together? The four of you? Next year. So, Mazel tov. Mazel tov. And surely this is a milestone. I know. 37 years old. But it is a milestone anniversary. And the Devar Torah is just for you. You inspired it. Everyone who comes for blessing knows that this is the very best month, because anytime we have an opportunity to make cycles around the sun and to celebrate the opportunity to get a little bit older, a little bit wiser, and care a little bit less about the things that don't matter. Every opportunity that you have to celebrate a birthday or an anniversary surrounded by people you love and who love you is a time for celebration. So we say, Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha, may God bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka, may God's light shine on you and be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom, may God's presence forever be with you, and may be blessed with the gift of shalom, of peace, to 120 and beyond. Let's sing.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu l'zman hazeh. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu l'zman hazeh.
Mazel tov. You can have a seat. Mazel tov, Jerry. That version of Shechianu always reminds me of youth group events, when this probably would have been the week in August when we were at Camp White Pine in Nelfty, back when we were very young. And there was this cool young rabbi from Canton who, when I was at Nelfty camp, and this was 1987, 88, you were much younger than I am then than I am now. I like to remind myself of that at every occasion, but you had so much more energy than I do now. And we would sing that song with friends who are people I'm still friends with, people we've lost, but it's an occasion to remember that August can be filled with many different feelings. The relief of the end of summer, the weather's starting to get a little cooler, occasionally it rains, and the anguish of going back to school. If you're a parent, if you're a teacher, you get a double whammy. If you're a student, But it's also a time for misery as Jews. We get all of the wonderful things. These are the days of rebuke and fear and awe as we build up towards the high holy days. And this is the month of Av, a month of sorrow, because why shouldn't we? Why not? What else are we going to do in August? But there are still changes happening. It is the end of a cycle of Torah reading and the beginning of a new cycle. Last week, we finished the book of Numbers, which is good because I was never good at math, and we start the book of Deuteronomy, Devarim. And I've always, as I told Barb, I majored in words in college. I prefer the words to the numbers. So this is the 5th book of the Torah, and it is sometimes seems unnecessary. Most of the book of Deuteronomy is a repetition of things that have come before. That sounds very Jewish, doesn't it? I've spoken before about family gatherings where it's the same stories told over and over again, but from multiple perspectives, and then each time it's told it gets embellished. Well, we can read the book of Deuteronomy, the book of Devarim, as Moses' last chance to teach the children of Israel something. And if you think that it's redundant, remember that the people that Moses is addressing in the book of Deuteronomy and telling them all of the things that had happened earlier in the Torah, most of those people weren't born yet when those things happened. This is not the generation that left Egypt. This is the generation that is going to enter the promised land. Every generation needs to be reminded of what came before. Even the generation that lived through the experience has to be reminded. And to whom should we listen if not the people who were there? Which brings me to why Shirley Lockshan's milestone birthday inspired my thoughts for this Shabbat. It took me a little bit of research because I didn't have to go into the Torah, and I found that other books go right to left and left to right. It's very strange. But I got numbers in here. I promised you no more math. You don't have to do the equations because I've done them for you. And I want to tell you about people whose greatest works were in their second act. Moses lived to be 120. And sometimes when I say he lived to be 120, I heard it tonight, oi, God forbid. Well, Moses lived to be 120, full of strength and vigor, and he accomplished almost everything that he wanted to do, but he didn't get to do it all, because none of us gets to do everything that we hope to do. If we have finished everything that we have set out to accomplish, we didn't set our goals high enough. So here's an example of a handful of people who lived with intention and purpose, and we all know their stories, even if we might not be familiar with all of their work, and maybe not even their names. The first is Toni Morrison, a good Northeast Ohioan, one of my wife's favorite writers. Toni Morrison wrote her first novel when she was 40. Now, 30 years ago, I thought 40 was old. 40 is way in the rearview mirror. But think about how we hold up youth as this great model. Toni Morrison would have seemed like a failure already because she hadn't made her first million by the time she was 25. A career in writing that started at 40, she won the Pulitzer Prize when she was 56, and won the Nobel Prize in Literature when she was 62, and she lived to be 88. So she lived more years as a successful writer than not as a successful writer. Julia Child, of the Beef Bourguignon. Julia Child published her first cookbook at 50 and spent the next 41 years as the butt of Dan Aykroyd's joke on Saturday Night Live. 41 years of a career that didn't begin until she was 50. A nice Jewish fellow whose abbreviated name was Stan Lee. Stan Lee is known for what character? Spider-Man. Superman. Superman was Schuster and Siegel. Stan Lee wrote his first big hit when he was 38. It was not Spider-Man, it was the Fantastic Four. And Stan Lee lived for another 57 years. Stan Lee died at 95, still with cameos in the movies that he inspired. He's still in there. Yeah. I knew there was going to be somebody who had a Stan Lee. The founder of McDonald's. Ray Kroc. He didn't found McDonald's until he was 52, and then he lived another 29 years, shortening other Americans' lifespans, but bringing joy to thousands of people through Happy Meals with toys that are choking hazards. And speaking of which, Colonel Sanders, who was not a colonel, but pulled off a white suit better than anybody. Colonel Sanders founded KFC when he was 62 and lived to be 90 years old. Laura Ingalls Wilder, played by Melissa Gilbert, one of us. Laura Ingalls Wilder wrote her first book when she was in her 60s, and she lived to be 90 years old. Anna Mary Robertson Moses, otherwise known as Grandma Moses, didn't begin painting until she was in her 60s, past what then would have been not only her retirement age, but her life expectancy, and she lived to be 101. Charles Darwin published On the Origin of Species when he was 50. So you think, big deal, Charles Darwin was 50. Charles Darwin lived to be 73, and he died when the average life expectancy for a man in England was 40. We all know him. He didn't accomplish anything during what was in his supposed lifespan. Two more. Nelson Mandela, who spent so many years in prison and was first elected president of South Africa when he was 76 years old, and he lived to be 95. Think about how much he accomplished against all odds. If Nelson Mandela had given up when he was in his 60s and retired, how much different would the world be for the worse? And then my favorite, because she has accomplished so much. She's been on TV, she's been in prison, she's been at the Olympics, not in the Olympics. Martha Stewart. Not Jewish, but she lives in the Hamptons part of the year, so she could be one of ours. Martha Stewart didn't publish her first book about telling us how we're doing everything in our homes wrong until she was in her 40s. And now, Martha Stewart is 83 years old, and not only is she still going strong, but who's one of her best friends? Snoop Dogg. And Snoop Dogg is 2 months older than I am. Think about how much Snoop Dogg has accomplished in his 52 years on Earth, and how much more we can expect from him over the course of the next half century. Each of these people didn't live as long as Moses. Martha Stewart remains to be seen. But each of these people we can qualify as a leader, because each of these people has left or is leaving a legacy that lives beyond them, just like Moses did. And Moses may have in his life considered himself to be a failure because he didn't accomplish the one thing that he most wanted to do, which was to finish the journey with the Israelites. His consolation prize was that he got to look out over the land and see the land, but he didn't give up, even when he knew he wasn't going to make it. He knows at the beginning of Deuteronomy that he's not going to make it, but he doesn't stop. He keeps going and going and going. And we know Moses' story. We know the Torah is called Torat Moshe, the teaching of Moses, because of his perseverance. It was Joshua who completed the job, but we don't call it the Torah of Joshua. It is the Torah of the person who was there at the beginning and the person who almost made it there into the end. But the fact that he didn't make it to the end meant more than if he had, because it wasn't about Moses. So the inspiration that Shirley and others celebrating milestone birthdays, the wisest member of our congregation, Jim, is if you have been there and have seen it, tell the story. Because the blessing that I offer to each of you is may you live long enough and see enough so that nobody can argue with you. May you grow to be so wise that you don't study history, but you recall it. Shabbat Shalom. Madam President, 51 years old and became president of Temple Israel. You're the mother of a 40-year-old son now, huh? He's almost 40. He looks older than you. That's shocking.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, Susie, for leading our music this Shabbat. Mazel Tov to everyone who's celebrating a Simcha in August. Please check the service handout for upcoming events and opportunities to get involved. We have several ways for you to volunteer, including the food bank, Habitat for Humanity, and the Religious Action Center postcard writing. We also have our full schedule for the high holidays ready for your planning. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. The high holidays are coming up. Whew. We will continue. Thank you, Susie. I want to give everyone an update. We'll send out a message to the members of the congregation about something happened here yesterday that caused a little fright, and I want to reassure everyone that it turned out not to be the worst case scenario. I'm not speaking in code, but this is being live streamed, so for those who were, first thank you to everyone for coming in person this evening, and to let you know that that all of our safety procedures work exactly as they are intended to, and the person who we thought was someone who should not be here turned out not to be that person. So rest easy and check your email on Sunday. Page 282, please rise for Aleinu L'Shabeach. The middle of the page. Aleinu L'Shabeach L'Adon HaKol Latet Gedula Liotzer Bereshit Shelo Asanu Kigoye Ha'aratzot Velo Samanu Kemishpechot Ha'adama Shelo Samech Elokeinu Kahem Vigor Aleinu Kechol Hamonam Vanachnu Korim Umishtachavim Umodim Lifnei Melech Malchei Hamalachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu V'ne'emar V'haya Adonai Lemelech Ala Kol Haaretz Bayom Hahu Yeh Adonai Echad Ushemo Echad. Continue on page 294 with Mourner's Kaddish as we recall this week the anniversaries of the deaths of the following people: Helen Israf Bailey, Ella Block, Frida Brockstein, Robert Brownlow, Evelyn Carmen, Jerome Kahn, Lawrence E. Cosner, Eugene Epstein, Hazel Fantel, David A. Fettman, William Goldsmith, Hannah Greenberger, Dr. Jerome Kleinerman, Mort Lazor, Francis Levy, James Lokshin, Michael Lewis, Harry Stern Mann, Ruth Marks, Francis Martin, Lester Miller, Betty Newpoff, Eugene Scheidlauer, Beatrice Sharoff, James Shively, Sarah Singer Norrie, Dean Sokol, William Solomon, Gershon Stern, Abe Stein, Joseph H. Stern, Norbert Joseph Weikers, Samuel Wilkoff, and Jack K. Wool. As well, we remember 4 who died in more recent days: Arlene Feldstein, Sarah Gale Weinstock, Catherine Olweiler, and Patrick J. Bell. I apologize if I mispronounced any of your loved ones' names, and invite you to share additional names that you're remembering for Kaddish or corrected pronunciations of names that I read. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'alma divrachir tei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon v'yamechon, v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, ba'agalav v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi Shmei Rabba Mevarach Le'olam Le'almei Almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yitzaleh v'yithalal Shmei Dekudesha Barichu. La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tush bechata v'nechemata. Da'amiran bi'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehi Shlama Rabba min Shemaya. V'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen.
Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru. Amen.
Please be seated. We began our service by giving thanks for the light and the sweetness of Shabbat. We prepared to conclude our time together by giving thanks to God for creating a world in which there is plenty if we would use it wisely. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. We will close out our worship with Ma Yafeh Hayom at the bottom of page 330.
Ma Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Ma Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you. It was lit. It was lit. Yeah, it was lit. Hey, how are you? When do you start back? The 19th also, but Wednesday is the teacher days. Yeah, it starts. We have like 3 teacher days.
We have 2. So I was back there one day this week.
Yeah, I went in today just for my reality check. Oh, yeah. Yeah, in some ways, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Shabbat Shalom. How are you? Good.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too. You self-fostering? Thank you.
No, I had Ghost, and then
Oh, yeah.
well, I had Steve,
Yeah,
and then Ghost, and now I just have yeah.
When do you go back? No, I did pass.
Wednesday. Hey, how was camp? Yeah. This is my niece Zohara.
Hi, Zohara. I don't know if you've ever met. That's how. I mean, I've met you before, but so Shabbat Shalom. All right.
So you've been back a couple days now.
Just got back on Wednesday. So.
Oh, just like a couple days, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Bati doesn't want to be reminded that school starts soon. I don't blame her. You
When does
know?
school start?
A week from Monday.
Okay, that's pretty much for everybody. Yeah. Do you start week from Monday too? 22nd. The Monday, the 19th? No?
Is it? Yeah. And Monday the 19th, it's like a freshman orientation. So it's a half day.
Wow, high school. Oh, we're going to church.
It's a lot of information.
It's a
as
lot,
a new,
yeah.
like new to the district.
Yeah.
I didn't realize, like I was like waiting to hear, like when I was gonna find out the bus route. And I went on the website last night, and it said if you are new, to be registered, you have to contact the bus garage to be added to the. And I was like, oh, I mean, no one. How would I have known?
Yeah.
Glad I figured it out.
Yeah, that's good.
School district Jackson. But they didn't go to Jackson for middle school, so we're just like a lot of information.
Yeah, it'll make
I mean, I'll be fine. But as a parent, I was like, a lot of stuff. So
It's a lot at first, but then you'll just,
you get used to the routine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it'll be
I'm
good.
gonna go home, check on the other one.
Yeah.
All right, good night. Shabbat shalom.
Say hi to Millie. They have the coolest dog. What?
Is it just me, or does that brown thing look like a mustache?
Yeah, it looks like a mustache. Yeah. It's kind of the thing. It's a thing.
Thing.
It's a thing with this brand. They look like,
Mustache guitar.
yeah.
That's how you know it's good quality.
Yeah. It's not just any mustache, it's a handlebar mustache, so it's pretty
Handlebar mustache.
Yeah.
Be classy.
yeah.
Neither one of us will be Florida. They don't have a state income tax over there. People are. That's why a lot of people do it. Flocking to Florida. But
He talks through his teeth.
And even without a formal income tax, it doesn't.
So scary.
They have no fault insurance on the cars, and it's astronomically expensive. We have a car down there as we speak. It's not been up here for a couple of years, but it's registered up here and it's insured up here.
we do the same thing with our cars. Have a license plate. It gives us when we drove back.
Our house here is homestead, and they have a homestead exemption down here. If you use the exemption down here, one of us has to be a Florida resident, and the other, of course, keep their Ohio resident. The minute you do that, you cannot avoid a file a joint tax return with the Fed.
And that does.
That's where the numbers fell apart. And of course,
And also
one of
just
them.
going through, wherever you mechanics are switching. In South Carolina, the cost in writing your wills and your trusts and your insurance, it's going out the door.
I never even checked on that, but she's right, settling in the state.